Forget everything you think you know about birds. Forget regular pigeons and standard backyard robins. Today, we're stepping into a real-life fantasy world. We're counting down 10 of the most bizarre, jaw-dropping, and utterly unique birds that prove nature has the ultimate imagination. 10. The Kagu, the ghost of the South Pacific. Deep in the tropical forests of New Caledonia lives the Kagu, a bird so mysterious it looks like a beautiful, moving spirit. It's an elegant, ash-gray bird that mostly walks along the dark jungle floor. But if a predator corners it, the Kagu triggers an instant transformation. It flashes open its wings to reveal striking black and white stripes while raising a dramatic royal crest on its head. Because it spends its life digging through the soil for insects, nature equipped it with unique, specialized flaps over its nostrils. These act like built-in dust masks to keep its nose perfectly clean while it hunts. 9. The Kiwi, the bird that thinks it's a mammal. The kiwi is easily one of the strangest biological puzzles on Earth. It has feathers that feel like coarse fur, tiny wings you can barely see, and a lifestyle that feels completely unbird-like. It is the only bird in the world with nostrils located at the very tip of its long 4-inch beak. It uses this incredible sense of smell to sniff out worms in the dark New Zealand forest floors. But the most mind-blowing fact? The female kiwi lays an egg that takes up nearly 20% of her entire body weight. To put that in perspective, it's the equivalent of a human giving birth to a fully grown 4-year-old child. 8. The Takahē, the ultimate hide-and-seek champion. For decades, the world thought the Takahē was gone forever, wiped off the face of the earth. But nature loves a good plot twist. In 1948, researchers hiking deep in New Zealand's rugged mountains came face to face with a bird that had supposedly been extinct for generations. It's a spectacular, flightless bird standing 25 feet tall, featuring a vibrant indigo blue body, steady green wings, and a massive neon red beak. They act like feathered lawnmowers, using their powerful beaks to neatly snip alpine grasses. Today, they're protected like absolute royalty to ensure their story never faces a final chapter. 7. The bearded vulture, the metalhead bone crusher. The bearded vulture doesn't care about meat. This high-altitude warrior prefers a diet that sounds completely impossible: solid bones. Up to 90% of its diet consists of skeletal remains. To eat them, the vulture grabs a massive bone, flies up to 200 feet into the air, and drops it on sharp rocks below to shatter it into digestible pieces. With a massive 9-foot wingspan, it's a stunning sight in the mountains of Europe and Asia. What makes it even more metal? It deliberately bathes in iron-rich mud to dye its chest feathers a fierce, rusty red. 6. The Kākāpō, the fluffy, grounded mountaineer. What happens if a parrot decides to live like an owl and forgets how to fly? You get New Zealand's most eccentric resident, the Kākāpō. Weighing up to 9 pounds and stretching 2 feet long, this is a heavyweight champion of the parrot world. Its moss-green, speckled feathers offer the perfect camouflage for a nocturnal lifestyle. Instead of flying, it hikes up forest trees using its strong claws. During mating season, the males find a high spot and emit booming, low-frequency bass sounds that echo for miles through the night. Because they're incredibly sweet, slow, and trusting, they're critically endangered. In fact, they're so rare that scientists have given a unique name to every single individual left on Earth. 5. The African Jacana, the ultimate water walker. How do you walk across a deep swamp without sinking? Ask the African Jacana, famously known as the bird that defies gravity. This small, chestnut-colored bird has ridiculously long, widespread toes that distribute its weight perfectly across floating lily pads. In a fascinating twist, the female is the boss. She defends the territory and has multiple mates, while the males handle 100% of the household chores. The dedicated fathers build the nests and hatch the eggs. If a predator gets too close, the dad will literally scoop his chicks up under his wings and sprint across the water like a superhero. 4. The secretary bird, the runway model with a deadly kick. If you combined a supermodel, an old-school office clerk, and a martial arts expert, you would get the secretary bird. Standing at 4 feet tall with an impressive 7-foot wingspan, this bird features elegant long legs and a crest of black feathers behind its head that look exactly like quill pens tucked behind a rider's ear. It doesn't hunt from the air. Instead, it struts through the African savanna on foot. When it spots a deadly snake, it delivers rapid, high-velocity kicks. These strikes are so incredibly powerful and precise that they can take down a venomous cobra in a matter of seconds. 3. The Abyssinian ground hornbill, the savanna's patrol officer. Standing nearly 40 inches tall, the Abyssinian ground hornbill looks less like a typical bird and more like an elite security guard patrolling the African plains. It sports pitch-black feathers, a massive helmeted beak, and shocking patches of exciting blue and red bare skin around its throat. Instead of flying, it spends its days marching step by step through the tall grass, hunting down dangerous prey like lizards and venomous snakes. Their deep, rumbling calls sound like a distant bass drum that can shake the air up to 2 miles away. Even cooler, they live in tight-knit family units where older siblings step up to help raise the new babies. 2. The King Vulture, the neon rock star of the jungle. Vultures usually get a bad reputation for being dull and gloomy, but the King Vulture completely shatters that stereotype. It looks like it stepped straight out of a high-fashion runway show. While its body is dressed in elegant white and black, its head is a wild explosion of bright orange, vivid yellow, deep red, and intense purple. Sporting a massive 6-foot wingspan, it glides majestically over Central and South American rainforests. It isn't just a pretty face. Armed with a heavy-duty hooked beak and a strange fleshy knob, it serves as the ultimate cleanup crew, tearing through tough hides that other scavengers can't even scratch. 1. The emu, Australia's unstoppable sprint champion. Imagine a creature that stands 6 feet tall, looks like a walking shaggy carpet, and can outrun an Olympic sprinter. Meet the emu. Their feathers aren't sleek. They look like soft, earthy fur designed to reflect the brutal Australian heat. They might be completely flightless, but with a single stride, these giants can clock speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. They don't need wings when they can glide across the outback like sports cars. Here's the real twist. Once the female lays the eggs, the father takes over completely. For nearly 2 months, he sits on the nest, barely eating, drinking, or moving. Talk about elite parenting. Nature went wild with these 10 incredible birds. Which surprised you most? The bone-crushing vulture, snake-kicking secretary bird, or water-walking jacana? Drop your comment below. If you loved this journey, smash that like button and subscribe for more wild adventures. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.